In this video, I'll be talking about Salesforce Einstein Discovery and whether it is predictive or descriptive. Speaker is Predictive. I am a Salesforce practitioner. In this video, I'll be talking about what is Einstein Discovery and what it actually does. I'll also be taking you through a demo how to analyze the insights given in a story by Einstein Discovery and how do we consume it in our real world. What is Einstein Discovery? Beyond Core company first came up with this concept using machine learning. This particular feature or product was taken over by Salesforce back in 2016. It was being sold as a separate application earlier, but now it seems to be wrapped inside Einstein Analytics. However, licensing might still be separate. One has to reach out to Salesforce to get the Einstein Discovery license details. So to define Einstein Discovery, it is a deep analytics capability which will uncover the data pattern in the dataset that you provide. So Salesforce achieves this using statistical algorithms which are custom built, and it explains the data pattern in correlation with one or two independent variables or attributes. So why do we need Einstein Discovery? Firstly, it will help in better visualization. Second, it will also help with mathematical statistical approach of coming up with an average, mean, median, and the standard deviation, and then extend the correlation. In business terms, it answers what happened in your data or in your data set, which is basically a primary insight, and why it happened is more of a quantifiable explanation of by what factor certain results improved or got worsened, and predictions and improvements or recommendation in terms of single or combination of dependent attributes. It will be depicted in both graphical and textual manner. And how does Einstein Discovery handle all this? As we said, number one, it probably is using unsupervised custom statistical algorithm or a machine learning. Today, ED supports only first order and second order analysis, that is based on one or combination of any two dependent attributes only. It explains the insights in two dimensions, that is how to maximize or how to minimize your target attributes. A licensed ED or Einstein Discovery will support up to 20 attributes, whereas unlicensed one supports up to 12. In this video or in this demo, we will see up to 12 attributes. As you already know, Salesforce exposes AI as a service, and it's not an open source in true nature, so one cannot work on underlying algorithm. However, Salesforce still expose our programming code to help developers work on the visualization or bucketing aspects. For some of you who might be interested to know how to get started or read a wonderful blog or watch the trial-led training content, you can refer to the given links over here. Please be noted, Salesforce also has many other instant features such as prediction builder, lead scoring, for many different problem statements where you want to predict outcome value, let's say. But if your problem statement is more to how do I maximize or minimize a given attribute, then Einstein Discovery may be the way to go. So let's get started with demo. For the sake of demo, I already have a test data set already ready. It's from opportunity, and I have also registered in an org which already has Einstein Discovery enabled. It is wrapped into the Analytics Studio. So in the studio, the first thing you would see is those of you who are working in Wave Analytics or Einstein Analytics, you probably use datasets, lenses, dashboard, and apps. But for the Einstein Discovery, I'll be using datasets and stories, and probably I'll put them into an app. So the first step to get started is adding a dataset, which you can do it in 4 different ways: through a CSV or connecting to a Salesforce org using an external connector or a data retrieve. So once you upload your data set, which in our case is an opportunity, let's give some name. So it will give a preview which I can further upload. At this stage, Salesforce will be creating a table or an object model with a dataset name that we prepared or we gave in, and it loads all the records. It of course might reject some of the bad records based on the data type mismatch or any special characters that can't get loaded. So further stories or insights will be built on top of the story that we upload here. So our data set is uploaded. The very next step is to go ahead and create the story. To create the story, as I said, there are two dimensions. One is either to maximize or minimize. I'll pick up a minimize problem statement and I'll go for a field state change days. This is nothing but how many days an opportunity took to change from one stage to another stage. So I want to minimize this from the data set that I have given. So in my data, I have maximum value of 86. Some opportunities took just 0 or 1 day, whereas some opportunities took up to 86 days. So we'll see what data pattern comes out when I'm analyzing based on other attributes, how the state change days field is getting impacted. I'll give one, this name is good enough, story name, and I'll keep it in a private application. So this is a place where I said you can analyze the state change in combination with all other attributes, or for the sake of simplicity, I'll simplify the problem statement and keep only 3 more attributes on which our state change days attribute gets impacted. So I kept only quantity, contract value, and non-recurring amount as a independent variable, which will impact my state change days variable. So let's review. This is a quick preview and get started with creation of story. Now this is the place where a story gets created by using statistical custom algorithm from Salesforce, and it comes up with both descriptive as well as predictive analysis. So it tries to answer the business problem in what happened, why it happened, or what can be done to improve the situation, which I just explained a little while ago. So what happened is a primary insight of the story. Why it happened is a quantifiable outcome, whereas prediction and improvement are more of a recommendation, where you can ask a specific question. If I want to achieve this, how can I impact it based on another 2 attributes by keeping one fixed and by varying the other? So that sort of an insight is better explained with Einstein analytics data visualization. It's still taking some more time. However, towards the end, once the story is ready, we should find something of this sort. That is, how can I minimize opportunity state change based on other single attribute individually, that is first order analysis, or by combination of 2 other attributes, where by fixing one and by varying other. So by fixing non-recurring amount and by varying total opportunity quantity, how does the state change gets impacted? Or by fixing the total opportunity quantity, however, by varying the non-recurring amount or by varying the contract value, how does the state change duration gets impacted? That is what we are going to get as a final insight stories. Yeah, we are good. Our stories are ready. So first, what happened? So first it is explaining how the state change is getting impacted based on non-recurring amount. So if you see, this is the best case. That is why I'm taking the minimal value as the best case is because my problem statement is all about minimizing the opportunity lifecycle state change days. So 48 is the least. When I look here, it gets highlighted in the text and is also depicted in green, saying that when non-recurring amount is between this range, you have the best average, which is even below the global average. The same is explained in rest of the places as well, based on a single variable and a combination of variable. Let's say, how does the state change take place in combination with total opportunity quantity? So in this case, it says the global average is around 55 or 56. So it says when 5 to 14 is the range, it is the worst. So it is highlighted it in red color. So same thing can be explained for combination of 2 attributes. Let's say this one. Here the contract value is fixed between 1899 to 11,950. However, the non-recurring amount is being bucketed to 0 to 88 or 148 to 1990 range, or 199 to 6325 range. So what it is trying to say here is, what is the worst case? It says 1899 to 11,500. That is the worst case. This is this one. It says that if we consider neutrally, it is almost around 67, but if the value is between 1899 or 1900, 1990 is the rounded figure, to 6325, we have the worst average compared to any other range, that is 65, which is the average days it took to convert the opportunity stage. Similarly, let's see this one. What it is trying to say here is, if the contract value is fixed between this range and start varying the non-recurring amount, the best case, which is in green, is just 12 days. That is, when non-recurring amount was between 148.6 to 1990, given the contract value is fixed between this range, then you have a global average of 54, but as this specific combination of cases, you have only 12 as an average number of days that takes to get converted from opportunity one stage to another. So moving on, why it happened is another interesting insight which explains the quantifiable increment or decreasing in the average count. Let's say, how did state change days fare in combination with non-recurring amount? So when the non-recurring amount is fixed between 88.1 to 148, so Einstein Discovery will go with the global average first. Then it will fix the non-recurring amount as 88.1 to 148 range, and it knows that it is one of the worst scenario where the total number of days it took was more than 75 to 80 to convert the opportunity stage. But when this is given or fixed and we start looking into different contract value bucketing, there we'll see the best case is when the contract value is 515.3 to 1899 range, given the non-recurring amount between 88.1 to 148, that is the time you have the best case of average of around 65 to 70 range, maybe 66, 67, that value. So it is giving green color as an improvement, red color as the case where it got worse. Moving on with the prediction, as I said, we can ask Einstein Discovery a specific question. Hey Einstein, what happens to my opportunity stage value when the total quantity is between 3 to 4? So the baseline average it will take around 60. It will say if the total opportunity quantity is 3 to 4, the overall average days it took to convert the opportunity was an improvement of 8.2 factors. But if we look regardless of all other total opportunity quantity and look into in a neutrality of all other unknown or other attributes in a neutrality, you will have slight increase in the time it took to convert average days. So if you want to analyze this in combination of contract value, you can further see it here, and it says it took only 34 days, which is the best case, provided the quantity is fixed to 3 to 4, and you start varying the contract value. So for contract value of this combination with the quantity of 3 to 4, you will have the best scenario. That is what this insight is actually telling. So how do we consume it in our real world? It's basically by building your own application, Lightning application, Lightning component, and passing on your target opportunity to the instant story that you just built. You can predict what are the two other attributes which can help you maximize or minimize your target attribute. Now, what will be my final conclusion? Whether Einstein Discovery was predictive or descriptive. So it all comes down to problem statement, I would say. If you have a problem such as dream house where you can take action based on the insights provided, then you can call it as more of a predictive and recommendation. Whereas if you are living with an in-life and data points which is already happened and you can't go and change the fact, in such case, the instant discovery is more of a descriptive and it is more of explanation, and it's a lesson that we can learn for our future opportunities only. I hope this video was a bit helpful in understanding better how to analyze the Salesforce Instant Discovery storyline. If you have any questions, please post it in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to help. Thank you.